Hi all, hope you all are doing good. So my name is Rohit Sharma and I'm working as a tech lead in Nashtag. So today I'm presenting a webinar session and the topic name will be Terratest. So for this Terratest, the agenda for this Terratest like for introduction to Terratest, and after introduction we are looking into about the key features and benefits of Terratest, and then working of Terratest with ISC tool, and about the use cases, that what are the use cases we are using for the Terratest, and the comparison with alternative tools of Terratest, conclusion, and last but not the least about the demo. So introduction to Terratest. So Terratest is an open source Go library designed to facilitate the testing of infrastructure as code. So Terratest is an open source that we are using in Go programming language, and it is helpful for designing the facilitate of the infrastructure as code for the testing. So it also helpful for developers to write the automate testing for their infrastructure, ensuring that changes, whatever the changes they are doing for infrastructure code are correctly implemented, as well as it will not provide any kind of introduced errors. So it will helpful for developer side as well for write their automatic testing whatever they are written in their infrastructure. So Terratest is a testing framework specially built for infrastructure. It was quite helpful for built for infrastructure side, and also it will be helpful for deploy real infrastructure. Unlike some testing tools are only used for mocks or simulations, Terratest provision actual resources in real environment. Whatever the environment we are using in our infrastructures like for AWS, GCP or Azure, it will be helpful for provision actual resources for that one, and also it will helpful for write tests in Go. So Terratest uses Go programming language using Go robust testing libraries. So we have created some kind of libraries for the Go and the packages as well for the write the test cases in Go language. It will be also helpful for verify the infrastructure. So it will be verify about your infrastructure and about the deployed resources, whatever the resources you are using for implementing infrastructure, and last but not the least for the real deployments and assertion. So Terratest also helpful for actual deployment of infrastructure rather than it will using mocks, and it's this approach tests are more accurate and reflected in real world scenarios. So it will be helpful for test the testing side. It is quite accurate, and it will not provide any kind of problems in between the infrastructure side. So key features and benefits are also automatic testing of infrastructure code. So Terratest allow you to automate testing for infrastructure code. It will also ensure that it works as expected but deploy into the production. It will be helpful for writing the test cases, automate test cases in an accurate way. Multi-IC support, as I have already told you about, that it will be helpful for IAC side tools like Terraform, and also for helpful like Packer and Docker. It will make it versatile for different infrastructure setups. Real deployment, it will also helpful for perform real deployments for the infrastructure rather than using mocks, and it will be accurate and also reliability of the testers. Idempotency and destroy function, it will be helpful for also for idempotent like, so it will be helpful for ensuring the infrastructure codes are in idempotent, and also it will be helpful like meaning it can be run multiple time with the same results. And cleanup, built-in functions are helpful for cleanup resources after testing, and also it will not do not leave any behind any residual resources. So this is the key features and benefit that we are using for the Terratest. And enhance reliability, it will also helpful for automated validations, like it will reduce the risk of human errors and ensure that infrastructure changes are validated through before deployment. And real environment testing, it will be helpful for testing the real environment and providing a high level of confidence in the correctness and infrastructure side. So it is a good like we are using this for validation and for real environment testing as well. And it will also helpful for improve our rapid efficiencies like rapid feedback. It will quickly identify and fix issues but with the infrastructure code through automated test. And also it will reduce our manual testing, significantly reduce the need of manual testing, saving time and also effort for development and operation teams. Consistency and repeatability, so it will be helpful for consistent results as well as the repeatable tests. It will be repeatable to verify the changes, do not introduce regressions. So this is the key feature and benefit that we are using for the Terratest for enhanced reliability, improved efficiency, and basically about the infrastructure side. So working of Terratest with IAC tool. So for this one, so first you have to install Go. So ensure that you have to Go install in your system. First you have to install Go, and after that, when you install a Go, then install Terratest by running this command. So we have to use this Go get GitHub. So this is the GitHub repo that we are using for gruntwork.io, Terratest for the module specific. In between there will be a test, there will be a modules specifically for different resources that we are using for the cloud environments like AWS, Azure and GCP. I will show you this once I will complete this slide, and then I will come to the demo side. And after that, when you go to get this one, and after that you have to work on create a test file. So for writing test, you have to create a test file, and it will be a Go and main. So this path you have to use, like for the file main_test.go, and import Terraform module. So whatever the necessary Terraform module you are using, you have to write this testing, and whatever the Terraform module you are using in the testing file, you have to implement that. And then define test functions. So once this will be done, you have to write test functions using the test packages. Like for the function side, test Terraform build testing, and you have to implement about the options, whatever the options you have to go, and it will be also helpful for the destroy and init and apply. This kind of implementation, it will be helpful for the Terraform side, and also it will be check output values, whatever the output value will come. And then last but not the least, it will be used for execute test. So it will be used for the go test -v. This command will be helpful for execute your test. And then once this will be done, you have to use the use cases of Terratest with IAC tool. What are the use cases that we are using for Terratest in IAC? So first one, infrastructure validation. As already we have discussed a lot of things about infrastructure validation in previous slide. Same way I have told you about, it will be helpful for deployment validation. So it will ensure that infrastructure components such as virtual machines, databases and network resources are correctly deployed and configured. So this is the infrastructure validation. It will be helpful for deployment side, and the configuration check, whether verify that configurations such as security group, IAM policy and DNS. It will meet expected criteria. So it will be helpful for deployment validation as well as for the configuration checks. And then integration testing. So it will be helpful for multi-service deployment. So testing the integration of the multiple service work together to validate data. Web server can be communicate to the database service. So there will be a web server, there will be a database server. It will be helpful for communicating in between them. And end-to-end testing. So it will be also helpful for provide the real-world scenario to validate the entire application stack from front-end to the back-end services and database. So it will be helpful for integration and also multi-services deployment and end-to-end testing. And security and compliance. This is quite helpful for security policy. It will be such as you are using for the firewall rules, IAM rules are collectively implemented and enforced. And then compliance audit, it will automatically check the infra there to compliance the standard of PCI, DSS and HIPAA. This kind of examples they are using for the compliance and the security policies. Terratest comparison. After the use cases, the Terratest comparison of other alternative tools. So we are using these tools like the kitchen Terraform. So they have on the tool perspective, there will be a pros and cons of every alternative tools, every tools that you are using in the market. So kitchen Terraform, it has the pros. So familiar with the Ruby and test kitchen experience. Rather than that, for the Terratest, we have to use Go language. So Go will be quite good as compared to Ruby. You have to execute and you have to things like you have to set up a directory structure and all that. And also for the kitchen Terraform, good for testing for Terraform configuration also. It will be also helpful for kitchen Terraform, it will be helpful for testing Terraform and also mature ecosystem with that. But the problem in the cons will be on kitchen Terraform, it will be limited to Terraform and Ruby environments. Somehow we have seen in kitchen Terraform, it will provide you Terraform resources, whatever the resources you are using in an environment and the infrastructure, it will helpful. But in kitchen Terraform, it will be limited to Terraform and Ruby environments. Slower performance compared to Go based tools. Now if you are using on the Terratest side, if you are using a Go based tools, so it will quite fast. The Terratest is quite faster as compared to kitchen Terraform because it will give you a slow performance as compared to the Terratest. And learning curve for with Ruby and test kitchen is quite difficult. Unfamiliar with Ruby's and all that, because Ruby part is you have to configure a lot of things in between them as compared to Terratest. So Terratest is quite important, like you have to is quite good, like if you are using a Golang and in between the module specific you have to set up this kind of environment. Is quite easy as compared to kitchen Terraform. Inspect, that is the second one that we are using. The pros, like strong focus on security and compliance, same way like we are using for the Terratest. Same way inspect is also provide that one, easy to read DSL for writing tests and for various Terraform. But the problem in between them requires familiar with the Chef ecosystem with DSL. Like so for that one we are using a Chef ecosystem, like for the configuration management previous we are using a Chef. Same way we have to implement that inspect for the Chef specific, and also it would be limited in test dynamic aspect of infrastructure as compared to Terratest. So that's why Terratest is quite important and quite good as compared to the kitchen Terraform and inspect. So we are using Terratest, that's why. Now conclusion. So Terratest stands out to the most powerful and versatile infrastructure as testing framework, compressive compatibility of validating infrastructure as code, such as Terraform, Kubernetes, and Packer. Now, so it is a Go-based approach, provide high performance and efficiency metrics. So we have seen the comparison between inspect and test kitchen. Same way, like if you see that it will be quite faster as compared to the kitchen Terraform and also for the inspect side, and it will helpful for the infrastructure as code and provide a Terraform, Kubernetes, and Packer. So this kind of capabilities for validating infrastructure as code. Versatility, so support a wide range of ASC tool. We have seen this a lot of time, like testing for diverse infrastructure in configuration. Real world testing, it will be enable testing in live environment. It will provide the confidence and behave as expected in production scenarios. Performance, so same way like performance is quite good on the Go language. Terraform offer high performance and consistency, ensuring efficient testing even for complex infrastructure. And integration, it will be helpful for strongly integration with CI/CD pipelines, facilitating automating testing as part of the deployment process. So it was quite important. So that's why Terratest is provide a very good things on the performance side, integration, real world environment, and versatility. And so for the demo side, so Terratest, I will show you the demo. So this is the thing, like for the Terratest we are using. So this is the modules that we are writing in AWS, Azure, or you can say, so I am currently showing in the Azure side. If you see on the Azure side, there will be a keyword.go. If you see one of the resources that I am using for the keyword go, so in between that, if you see, like we have to use a package of the Azure, and we have to import this kind of functionality like contacts, FMT, OS, and testing. So so for this one we are using for the GitHub functionality for SDKs for the services that we are using for the Key Vault. And then once this will be done, we have to use a keywords. If we have to check like if keywords secret exists or not, indicate whether a keyword secret exists, otherwise false. For that one, this function will helpful for test the fail if there is an error. If keyword secret exists, then it will be a secret exit, otherwise it will be give some kind of error like so. And same way like keyword keyword key exists, so indicate whether a keyword for exist, otherwise it will be false. So same way like we have seen for the keyword secret and keyword key. So whatever the key is secret, if there will be a secret present, a keyword secret exist, it will be good, otherwise it will be provide a false information, false thing. And also, and false means like it will give you some kind of error. And same way for the executing the keyword keys exist. And same way for the keyword for the certificate side. So for the certificate, if you go for the keyword certificate exist, indicate whether is a keyword secret certificate exist. If there will be a keyword secret present in our module, I will show you the module once I will clear up about all the things on the Go that we are using on the keyword. So indicate whether a keyword example like a certificate exists, otherwise if it will not be, it will give you a false, or it will give you some kind of error like it will the certificate is not present. So this kind of error it will show you. And last about is that one keyword secret certificate. So this one also like so certificate exists in keyword, otherwise false. Same way like you are implemented for the suffix side. And last one, like key vault key exists, indicate whether a key vault exists in the key vault, otherwise false. So it will provide you a function of the key vault exist. And same way, like if you are getting some, if there will be a key exist, a key vault key exist is not present, it will give you an error. So this is the way, like you have to wrote a key vault.go. And same way, like for the Azure, or you can say AWS and GCP, same kind of functionality you have to use for your Golang. Now come to the example, like for the module side, I will show you one module. So this is the module that I will show you for the key vault. So if you go downside, so this is the key vault example that I will show you. So in between that I have wrote one of the code from the like resources. So it will provide you a provider like Azure RM feature key vault, and I am using a one security rule, that is purge soft deletion on destroy false. So I am giving this as a false permission. And then I will come to the Terraform side. So resource I am using, this is the resource group I am putting, and the name of the resource group I am taking Terratest-kv-rg, any kind of for that, and I have provided the location. And then I will be taking this as a data block for the Azure RM client configs with that, and I am taking this policy from the data blocks. So I am taking this as a access policy for the contributor access, and I am giving the key, secret and certificate management. So this kind of thing you have already seen in your previous functions that I have shown you on key vault.go. Now so in that one I will give you a key, secret and certificate management. So see, I have created one of the resource, that is key vault, and in between that I have put name, location, resource group, and also I am taking one security rule enable for disk encryption. I make it as a true, and tenant ID, and I am taking this soft protection also. Now access policy, for access policy I have given the permissions of key, certificate, secrets, if you see that one. So same way I have provided this access policy, and I am giving the tenant ID, object ID, and in between the key permission. So the key permission, like I have given the create, I have given the get, list, delete, purge, and set rotation policy and get rotation policy. This kind of permissions I have provided to the access policy. And same way I have given the secret permissions of the set, get, list, delete, and purge. This kind of secret permissions I have provided. And the last technology is for the certificate permission. So I have given this certificate permission to the create, delete, get, import, list. This kind of permissions I have given to the certificate. And then I am using the deploy a secret to the key vault. So I am using this as a that one, and deploy the key. So I am taking deploy a secret to the key vault. So I am taking a resource of the key vault secret and name, value, and the key vault ID, and also deploy a key. And I am taking this as a resource, key vault key, and name, key vault ID, key type, and key size. And key options, like I am taking a decrypt, encrypt, tab key, and all kind of deploy. This kind of thing I am using for deploy to a key to the key vault, and deploy a certificate. Same way I am taking this as a resource, key vault certificate, and name, vault, and certificate policy, and key properties. So this way, like you can take it any of the code, and you have written the code, you have to implement what kind of permission you have provided and what kind of deployment you have to done, and same way you have to do it in the Go side. Like I have shown you in this one, like how can you see that whatever the resources, whatever the modules you are using. So if you see, I have already told you about the key vault. So if you go to key vault, so like in that one, it will indicates your key vault secret, your key vault key, and your key vault certificate exist. This kind of things, it will be helpful and it will be function. So same way you have to put a key vault.go and put a functions for whatever the resources you are using, and same way you have to wrote a module for the specific. So that's way it will be helpful for providing the IAC or the infrastructure as code. Yeah, so that's it from my side. Thanks.